Lesson 17. Path to Freedom. Before the revolt of 1857, the British education policy opened the doors of Western culture. A small group of the Indian society became interested to study the ideas and spirit of the West. The English language became popular as it opened paths to employment. Government officials became the agents of Western influence. It was the time when a group of the modern educated Indians began to realize why the country as well as the people were in poor condition. They wanted reforms of beliefs and customs in society. Hence, a great movement of reforms started. Many well-known social reformers took a leading part in the reform movement. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Debendranath Tagore, and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar were among them. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, the founder of Brahmo Samaj, strongly protested against the custom of sati and the caste system. Vidyasagar opposed child marriage. He was in favor of remarriage of widows and promoted the education of women. Indian National Congress. The British had regained complete control over India by 1859, but the revolt of 1857 and its result increased awareness among educated Indians of the abuses of the British rule. Some Englishmen were sympathetic. Sir A.O. Hume, a retired civil servant, founded the Indian National Congress in 1885. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held at Mumbai under the presidentship of W.C. Banerjee. The Congress met every year in different cities after this. Between 1885 and 1905, the Congress adopted a moderate approach towards the British policy over India. The leaders came to be known as moderates. The British did not pay any attention to the demands of the Congress. Meanwhile, Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak introduced the Ganpati festival in 1893 and the Shivaji festival in 1895 to awaken the national spirit in favor of a struggle for Swaraj. He declared, "Swaraj is my birthright and I must have it." Bankim Chandra's famous song, Vande Mataram, had been the main theme of the Indian nationalism. Some leaders like Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal criticized the moderates of the Congress. Swadeshi Movement. In 1905, Bengal was divided by the British. As a reaction against the partition of Bengal, Indians launched a protest against British-made goods. They vowed to use only Swadeshi, Indian-made goods. This was the Swadeshi Movement. The students boycotted schools and colleges and joined the Swadeshi Movement. People burned foreign goods and clothes. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal, Lal Bal Pal, appeared as radicals in the Congress. They believed in taking extreme actions against the British. According to them, the Swadeshi Movement was a great political weapon against the British rule. Soon, the Swadeshi Movement spread all over the country. The British took steps to crush the movement. Many leaders were arrested and imprisoned. Khudiram Bose, a student, was arrested and hanged. The British government restricted organizing public meetings. Muslim League. A number of leading Muslims decided to form a Muslim organization as a parallel body to the Congress. As Bengal was divided into the Hindu majority, West Bengal, and the Muslim majority, East Bengal, the Muslims of East Bengal supported it. They thought it would help the Muslims of East Bengal to manage their own affairs. After the partition of Bengal, the Muslims became two groups. One group wanted to join the Congress and the other group did not expect any fair deal from the Congress. In 1906, some Muslim leaders who did not want to join the Congress formed the All India Muslim League. Revolutionary Movement. Revolutionary organizations began to develop mainly because of the efforts of Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. He believed that freedom was to be gained through revolution. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh motivated young people to launch revolutionary activities in the country. Apart from Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, some of the well-known leaders also took active parts in the revolutionary activities. Many revolutionaries also spread their activities in England and other European countries. The revolutionaries assassinated some important British officers. The revolutionary movement frightened the British government. The British government took brutal steps to crush the movement. Many revolutionaries were punished, arrested, and some were sentenced to life imprisonment. Though the revolutionary movement failed to achieve independence, it had a great impact on the Indian freedom struggle. First World War. The First World War broke out in 1914. It helped various political groups to be united. In 1916, a pact was signed between the Congress and the Muslim League. The Muslim League declared its support for the Congress demand for self-rule. In 1915, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi returned to India from South Africa. He came with a new method of mass struggle called Satyagrah. Later, he applied his method and a new era of the freedom struggle began.